out.
Why? What's gonna be edited out?
Oh yeah, we're not supposed to have 4 minutes of foreplay.
Exactly. That's how he was last week.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. You ready?
All right. Yes. 2:15? Yes.
No, it's 8 o'clock.
No, I mean, the episode number.
You big dummy.
Yes. Live from La Cocina Studios. This is the 215th edition of the HWR show. This is Abel.
This is Travis.
I'm Chris.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It's our first regular episode of the new year, 2017. We're back, bitches.
For now.
And better than ever? Same old shit. No. We had stuff that we didn't cover last week because we did our year in review episode. I'd say that was a pretty darn good episode. I had a lot of fun with you guys doing that. And I think you guys thought it was pretty good too, huh?
4 out of 10.
Yeah, 4 out of 10. Yeah, a little. Yeah.
I met my threshold. How many hours I could spend with you guys?
Yeah.
No, yeah, for 1 week anyway, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, whatever. Guys, please go check it out. It was a really great episode.
We need the hits.
We need the hits. Yeah, go back. It's basically everything that happened in 2016, what we liked, didn't like.
Most
in WWE.
We forgot a couple things.
Yeah. So, no, it was really good. So, please go check it out. It is on YouTube right here if you're watching live on YouTube, and it's also on the old podcast version. If you are watching currently right now live on the YouTubes.
Sorry.
Yeah, I have you pulled up on my phone right here. Say hi in the live chat, and I will try to involve you in the show. If you want to call us out on our bullshit or ask us questions or fact check us or whatever, just let us know right here. Hey, we already have Hector.
Will be deleted after that.
Yeah, Hector is already saying that last week's episode is all right. LOL.
It's
Thanks,
all right.
Hector.
Come on, man.
It's all right. I eat it.
Delete him.
Delete it.
Is that the dude that gave you the 1 internet point last week?
Yeah.
No, that was a different guy.
That was a different
Yeah,
guy?
that was a different guy. Ernie, hey, this is a new guy that I haven't seen before. Ernie,
Where's Bert?
He says, "What's up?" So, what's up, Ernie?
What
Nice
up?
to see you here. So, already got some newcomers here.
New blood.
And they won't last long.
So, what are we going to talk about this week? What happened this week in the world of wrestling?
Stretch your pants. How about Raw?
Well, actually, before that, wasn't there some breaking news that we just found out about right before?
Oh, yeah, we were sitting on the couch
Yeah.
over
there.
I already forgot about
See,
it.
that's why I'm here.
You're the brains of the group, huh?
We're all screwed.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's why you call him Professor, but he has a ill-gotten nickname.
We're halfway to the end of TNA.
But halfway to the end.
Yes.
Or halfway to a new beginning.
Oh, that's
6
optimistic.
We're
That's
6 feet
that's
from the edge.
2017 Travis.
You can only go down so far. We have to go back
2016,
up.
2016 Travis was like, oh, great, Dixie Carter's finally gone. Nah, 2017 is like, he's still got a shot.
Well, now that she's spill the news.
So you're saying
So
there's a
me.
chance.
Yeah. Anthem Sports and Entertainment made the purchase official. They bought the majority interest in TNA. So Dixie remains only as a minority share stakeholder. As far as her being a chairperson,
But she's white.
Yeah. Chairperson of the company, she's out. She's no longer in charge. So,
What does that mean?
good question.
Who is in charge? Who took Dixie's spot?
Anthem Sports, right?
Well,
Ed-
there's got to be a person, right?
Ed Nordholm as the president of Anthem Wrestling Exhibitions.
Wait,
LLC.
what's this guy's name?
Ed is his first name.
Ed
Nord, N-O-R-D,
Nord.
Holm, H-O-L-M. Nordholm.
Nordholm.
Say that 5 times fast with the halls in your mouth.
Ed Nordholm.
I didn't even have one of these in
I
my
didn't
mouth.
have anything in my mouth.
Abel is slightly retarded.
Slightly. So, yeah. Other than Dixie being gone as like the leader, everything else is the same. They're still on pop.
But that's a big one thing that's changed is Dixie not being in charge anymore.
Yeah, sometimes all you need is just a change of a head coach and turn a football team around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that she's even still a minority
See
hero at all.
that her foot's still in the door.
Yeah, I'd prefer to see like
She's a
nothing at all.
minority. What?
She still has a minority share of the ownings of the company.
Minority
But she's
share
not in charge, and
holdings
she's-
of the
yeah.
company.
She's not in charge.
So she doesn't call any shots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not anymore.
She just gets money if they
Right.
make money.
Right.
Imagine Jeff Jarrett 5 years ago when he left TNA.
Okay.
He still had the minority share. He was still getting a cut of whatever profit of zero is, and
once
stayed away from
You
television.
know what? And honestly, once she realizes that she doesn't have any power left in that thing,
She's not gonna want to be
she's
there.
not gonna, and then she'll sell her shares.
Hector
Yeah.
says in the chat, she became a female broke version of Ted Turner.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that's it for TNA this week.
Thousandaire Dixie.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
All right. Is that all our TNA talk for the week?
We weren't gonna have any.
We weren't gonna have any. Yeah, no.
Oh,
we just
there
found
you
out
go.
about this before we started recording.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Cool.
So let's start with something that apparently we all watched.
Okay.
Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep interrupting you.
Ooh.
Before
Take a
we
score.
Girl interrupted over here.
before we get into this week's WWE stuff, there was a really big event that happened.
A few hours ago.
Yeah.
So the Wrestle Kingdom.
11.
See.
Yes.
We didn't get a chance. I know I didn't get a chance to see it yet.
Yeah.
You
I haven't got a chance to
you
see
watched
it
some of it.
Oh yeah. I watched some so far.
All right.
Yeah.
So we have some plans for Wrestle Kingdom, no?
We're still trying to figure out who the fuck is going to do this dark match episode. But one way or another, Houston Wrestling Radio Network will have a dark match episode.
So this is why and the reason I'm bringing this up is because I don't want our listeners to think that we're just blowing over or just ignoring Wrestle Kingdom altogether. We are going to come back to that. We are going to talk about it. We just want to know who or
Somebody
when.
this weekend has plans to do a lot. Somebody has plans this weekend to do a lot of nothing. And I'm the one that's trying to figure out how the hell we're going to get this episode because my big mouth opened it and said we're going to have it. So
Right,
I have to
right.
deliver.
Yes.
So I'm throwing up the signal flare for somebody to answer so that we'll get a fucking episode up on YouTube for Wrestle Kingdom.
Do Scottish people answer signal flares?
Ansel?
What's
Ansel?
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 Ansel. I think that's Gaelic, isn't it, for answer or something?
I know Scottish don't speak Gaelic, but anyway.
Oh, okay.
So,
Whatever.
so basically,
Is that Grebel's sister?
Yes.
and for those of you who don't know or might be new, the Dark
Wrestle
Match,
Kingdom is Japanese.
yes,
Yes. The dark match is
the Dark Match is a different show that we do on YouTube on this channel, where after a pay-per-view is over, we hit the record button and we just talk about
what we just watched.
like an instant review of the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different Wrestle Kingdom because it's
Because it already happened.
It's on the other side of the globe.
This morning.
and at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
And we
it's
got
and
jobs.
and it's 5 hours long.
And
Yeah.
New Year's Dash is also happening tomorrow morning at 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
Gotcha.
figure something out. But yeah, so far, yeah, it's good. I like what I saw. Just to wet the palate a little bit for you guys.
All right.
The debut of Cody
I saw the
Yes.
video, like New Japan posted that of him walking down
against Juice Robinson.
Who?
Oh yeah, Juice Robinson.
Who?
Oh.
Here's
I know that guy.
This will get us-
That's Juice
Let
Robinson.
me try this again to get a better reaction. Cody debuted against CJ Parker from NXT.
Oh.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Okay,
That's
here,
bad taste
well,
on
I'll try this again.
Tastes like hippie.
Yeah.
I'll try this again. Hiroki Goto gets a title shot at the Never Openweight Championship against Katsuyori Shibata. The record in that, they've wrestled each other 6 times, and the record is 2-2-2. And that extra
It's
2,
like a third rubber match.
the extra 2 is not time expired. The extra 2 is for double knockout. There's been 2 matches where the referee has called a stop to the match for a double knockout. And you've seen the matches the last couple of years that we've watched Wrestle Kingdom's Neverweight
'cause they
title.
fought,
They're
last
stiff
year.
as fuck.
Yeah.
Like Tomohiro Ishii against Shibata last year.
Yeah, that's what we
And then
saw.
the year before was like a mixed MMA looking kind of like street fight kind of brawl.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what you're going to expect in that match.
Okay.
So that is good.
But save all that.
But
yeah.
Yeah.
So because eventually you guys want to watch this episode.
Oh, I definitely want to watch
matches.
it. Yeah, yeah.
You
It's
just can't do it
scheduling
in the
it.
immediate
Yeah.
I gotta sleep sometime. Give me a break.
Yeah, the scheduling is going to be tough this week.
All right.
So,
now,
now-
without further ado,
Monday Night Raw.
Back to the America.
do we have to talk about Raw?
So WWE had another chance.
You want us to not? We won't.
Nah,
They had another chance to right the wrong. They gave us Roman Reigns versus Chris Jericho for the United States title.
Mhm.
Were you expecting anything different from the last time this happened?
well, there's a
No.
well. there is a little caveat to this, right?
Okay.
Because before that match happened for the U.S. title, there was another match.
Owens versus Rollins, and the
what was
loser
Oh, excuse me.
was bless you. The loser of the match was banned from the title match.
Right.
Mhm.
So what did you think was going to happen in that match?
I was hoping Kevin Owens would win, and Rollins would be out of the picture, and Owens would finally do the shenanigans to where Jericho would at least have the title for a cup of coffee before Roman takes it back the next week or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's what I was hoping.
Yeah. And then
But what do we get?
Yeah, this match, just a setup for it. Owens getting himself disqualified by using a bell.
Mm-hmm.
And so that means Owens is banned from ringside, but not Rollins. Rollins can come out and do anything.
Yeah.
Fast forward to that match, Rollins doesn't even do anything.
Yeah.
So what was the whole point of that? What, like that it served no purpose.
Well, did you have a highlight of that match?
No.
Other than filming part of a 3-hour show. Yes.
No. The highlight for me was the old callback to Eddie Guerrero. Jericho threw him the belt and just
I don't know if
bittersweet.
I call that a highlight.
That's bittersweet.
because they didn't follow through. Yeah.
It was because we're marking out for it.
Yeah.
I said, do that, girl, because as soon as he grabbed the title, I was like, this is what he's gonna do. He did it. He played it out perfectly as far as
The fans bought it. He's even peaking, and Roman decently sold it. And the ref was like, all right, so what happened? And okay, this is a perfect way to get the belt off of Roman.
right. And protecting Roman also,
Mm-hmm.
because through heel shenanigans, that's what you do, right?
That's what you do.
But
Apparently that wasn't done because
apparently now in this new era and being smart and everything and having the internet, refs like to think now.
Refs like to think?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
We're screwed, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
So it's not I'm blind, I'm deaf, I want to be a ref anymore.
not
Right.
anymore.
No,
I guess
they're
not.
not.
Yeah, these refs, somebody
Have to
put a brain
stick
in
to
them.
banking.
Oh God. But yeah, that was it was just upsetting. Like, I kind of deflated the mood of that outcome of that match. Like, oh well,
Why do it if they weren't even going to follow
why do
through?
even that? And then as soon as that, it wasn't even that. It was like after the fact that spot happened, it was predictable. Like we said, okay, here comes the spear, here comes the and that's what happened. We called it, dude. Like right after that spot was blown.
I wasn't watching with you guys, but I called it as well. And while I think it would have been, I don't dislike the fact that there was a twist on the Eddie spot, because I think it would have been too on the nose for them to do exactly the Eddie spot, But I like the fact that there was a twist. I don't like the fact that after the twist, everything was predictable. Okay, spear, pin, 1, 2, 3, Superman punch, all that shit. Like, whatever. And that's why you said there wasn't any highlights for that match. I was like, no, that didn't even seem like a highlight for me. I didn't care about this match. I didn't give any shits.
What was I saying? Anytime there's a promo, I can't remember. It started the show, right? With Stephanie coming out and bitching about how SmackDown beat him in the ratings. And what did I yell at? I said, this is why SmackDown is beating you, because these 4 people that have been in this main event scene months. It's like, it's same old. Like, I'm tired of seeing these 4 people.
Devil's advocate, the same time on SmackDown, we just got Ziggler and Ambrose rotated, and they just swapped the feuds. That's no different than
and we
Roman.
bitched about that. We didn't not bitch about it.
Here's the thing. They're making SmackDown, something is different with the booking. I know it's probably the same booking team that's doing everything, but for whatever reason, when it's coming on SmackDown, it just feels fresher. It feels different, and it doesn't feel stagnant like it does on Raw. Raw is just it's like, okay, and it's not even that. It's like, what else can you do with the tandem of Jericho and Rollins? I mean, Jericho and Owens as BFFs, pretty much. What else can you do with Rollins and Roman, aside from actually forming the Shield again? Well, what else are you going to, like, what are you going to do? You're bringing Braun Strowman? Okay, I can see that's a little bit fresh meat there, but still, you still got this storyline of what they did with Rollins. They kind of shot themselves in the foot with a booking. Triple H, I'm coming for you. After I get through him, and then but eventually I'm coming for you.
Because apparently that was how it was laid out in the script.
Yeah,
Like,
and
come on,
the
man.
script
It was
leaked
just
online.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay,
No,
I wouldn't. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised.
It's just too much, man. Because like if you are Seth, if I put myself in Seth's brain as a character, and I'm saying I need to get to you, but I'm gonna go through Goon 1 and Goon 2 to get to you, I'm not thinking that I'm going to have to do it in this order. If I have the opportunity to go straight to Triple H, I'm gonna do it. Triple H should be the one who's like, nah, you gotta get through these guys first. Not the other way around. Like,
for Stephanie, she should be the mouthpiece for
exactly. Like, why is Stephanie not involved with this at all? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
She's too busy punking out Sami Zayn and now Bayley.
She can't punk out Seth while she's at it too. Why not? She's all over the show anyway. What's an extra 30-second segment with her punking out? What's his face, Seth.
Does the Rumble open up the doors for anything? You just said, well, what good is it to have Owens and Jericho? What if Rollins wins the Rumble and Reigns wins the belt and we get Rollins versus Roman at WrestleMania? Or what if Jericho wins the Rumble and Owens retains and we get Jericho versus Owens at WrestleMania? That's a feud culminating. Like if you tell the story right, that's been going on for like 6 months.
No, here's my issue with that. They have teased it twice already. Technically a third time. They've teased there's dissension and Jericho's pissed off at Owens. You can only cry wolf so many times. And to me, I don't even care anymore.
Travis doesn't like that many teases.
You didn't buy the most recent tease at all during the Kevin Owens show where Jericho's like, yeah, I'm in the Rumble. We're gonna fight each other at WrestleMania. Yay! Aren't you happy?
No,
dude?
I'm not happy. What the hell?
We'll still keep the belt though.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be good. That would be good if they hadn't done the two other before that. Because it's like, okay, is he really mad or is he? They've done messed up everything as far as what their characters would do in the storyline.
So you're already tired of Owens and Jericho?
I'm tired of all four of them. I'm tired of them two. I'm tired of Rollins. I'm tired of Reigns.
So what was your first impression when Goldberg walked into the ring during the Kevin Owens show?
I liked it. I'll get to that. I want to say something that Hector just said right here. Welcome to Monday Night Raw, where we have the same four guys every week with the occasional sprinkle of Strowman. Yeah, he's spot on that. It was all the same shit. But, okay, this time it's sprinkle in Goldberg. I kind of liked the segment altogether because I thought it was just going to be them two with the mannequin dude standing with the sign, which I thought was kind of funny. That was funny. And then, okay, they're going to interview Goldberg, and like that's it. This is going to be the highlight reel, except Owens show, whatever, and it's going to be Goldberg. But when everyone else started coming out, I kind of liked it. I didn't hate it, I guess you could say.
No, the segment. If there was a highlight of Raw, I would say it was that segment. Show.
It was that segment. Yeah, that's what I'd say too.
And I did like Goldberg coming out. Also, I like anytime you have like a legend coming back for a particular feud, it's good to see them come back and
interact with other members.
Step away from that feud for a second and interact with more current. They reminded me of when The Rock came back for the first time, and he didn't know on Raw, but he went on SmackDown. And he talked shit to Damian Sandow and someone else. But it was good to see an interaction between him cutting a promo against the current guy.
Like The Rock and Rusev.
Or Rock and New Day.
Rock and
New Day.
Okay,
yeah. So, it's like that. So, I was hoping, matter of fact, who came out after Goldberg? Because
Lesnar. Paul Heyman came out and was threatening everybody in the ring about Lesnar being in the Rumble.
Okay, I was thinking something else because I was actually interested to see what was going on between the interaction between Goldberg, where that was going.
Braun.
Maybe that's what it,
yeah, because Strowman was the one that
Roman came out.
That's what
it was. Roman and Goldberg in the same ring, and Roman actually like called out Goldberg.
It was a double spear, and I actually kind of liked it. I know that like I'm not supposed to like the spear, from Roman, but when they were looking at each other and they're like, you go that way, I go this way, had that rush hour moment. I was like, oh, okay, boom, and they both did it. I kind of liked it. Yeah.
So far, it's Goldberg, Lesnar, Y2J, Braun, and all three members of New Day in Raw, that are in the Royal Rumble match.
Wow.
So we got 7 guys now?
Yeah. Okay.
And one guy from SmackDown.
Yeah, one guy from SmackDown.
Another general criticism of Raw, and this is coming from the chat. Daryl says, what's up, Daryl? He says, Raw feels like they're just going through the motions until the next pay-per-view. I'm about ready to give up on Raw altogether.
I'm hearing a lot of people say that about they're just giving up on Raw altogether. Just watch SmackDown.
Yeah,
I'm hearing like that's a big notion that I'm seeing on Facebook groups and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what you can only take so much. If it's not entertaining, if it's not fulfilling that need of what you want to watch on a wrestling show, then yeah, why watch it?
Mm-hmm.
And it's starting to show. I mean, you can give them reasons and excuses why SmackDown actually beat Raw last week. But hey, SmackDown beat Raw.
Yep.
I'm hoping we're going to see a trend of that.
Yeah. That would definitely make whoever's running Raw get a fire lit under their ass.
You know, it's funny. The opening segment, Stephanie was bitching about how they lost the ratings, and she's not going to have any of that. And then later on the show, they did a little promo for next week's with the Shawn Michaels
and Undertaker,
which I thought he was on SmackDown, but hey, whatever. And there's you could say that, oh, that's desperation. That reeks of desperation, trying to get more ratings in. And
Brian called him out that Raw has to use old timers or part timers to get their ratings boost when SmackDown's doing it just on their own talent.
Yeah. One of their own talent being John Cena, but whatever.
Yeah, I didn't like that too much. I mean, because that's gonna that's gonna bite him in the ass like later on whenever like Undertaker's on their show or Rock comes back for something and hey, SmackDown needs the legend.
Yeah.
So
how about the New Day?
Yeah.
New Day. Okay. I thought it made sense for Big E to change it up and say former tag champs, because isn't that what New Age Outlaws did?
No, they're saying the longest reigning
champs.
Longest reigning. But isn't that kind of like this along the same lines? Yeah. Okay, so I was cool with it. They still got their pop, and I kind of had that moment where I was like, "See, I told you didn't need the belts," and everybody's still cheering for him and getting up, and he threw the box of cereal out there, almost knocked somebody out, and like it's still the New Day, and they're good. I'm just glad that they're not burdened with the 10, 20, 30 pounds of gold. No, I guess it's just 20 because it's just 2 belts. Yeah, or not gold, but copper, whatever those fucking penny belts were made out. They're not burdened by the belts, okay? And they're still out there doing stuff, and I enjoyed it. And then Titus came out, and I had to scratch my head, and I was like, okay.
Which one? We know how you like the blacks.
Titus came out, and I was confused because I was like,
because he didn't know I
didn't know who he was. No. I knew who he was. Stop. Titus came out, and I was like, who are we going to be cheering for? Is this kind of a somewhat quasi-face turn? Is
Wait, you're cheering for Titus?
No.
What
I'm trying to say is I didn't know if he was trying to be a face or trying to be a heel until he got out there and said whatever the fuck he had to say, because I thought first he was just being overly cheesy, trying to get buddies with them, and then like they were going to accept it, and I was like
be the fourth member.
Yeah, like this is dumb, and I wanted Sasha to be the 4th member, not him. This is stupid. And then it was like, oh, heel turn. Well, okay, well this is still dumb too. It's gonna be 1-on-3. Like I don't give a fuck. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I've been kind of still New Day. I do agree that I'm glad the belts aren't on them anymore. And yeah, like you said, it was just they didn't need the belts. They can still do their whole thing without needing being champions, pretty much. The Titus thing, Titus is something that we kind of forgot to talk about on our year in review episode, where we talked about headlines. One of the headlines from last year was Titus getting suspended for putting his hands on Vince McMahon.
That's true. Yeah, we did forget about that.
And the reason I bring that up is because ever since we suspended for 90 days, or first it was 30, then 60, he's about to be suspended for 90 days. They were going to fire his ass, but apparently they got talked out of that.
They reversed it or some shit.
But then he was never the same. They never had the same push after he got suspended. And to that extent, I just don't care. Like, I don't care about Titus. Like, what is he going to do?
I think you guys are focusing on the wrong side of the coin.
Okay.
This is what we're going to do with the New Day post-title run. Like, it's not all for one. It's not all for one. It's one for each of us. So, like, right now, that last Monday, we're showing that Xavier Woods can actually strike out on his own and have a competent match with Titus. Hopefully next week, I don't even care if it's Titus reapplying for the New Day gig, and then we get Kofi Kingston to see what we can do. Yeah. We're building up to the Royal Rumble. For some reason, this year, it feels like it's wide open. Like, if there's anybody that can make a good case to be standout, not necessarily win the fucker, but to be in the top 4, top 6, to be like, okay, that's the guy that we need to look out for in 2016. Like if Big E closes 2017, like if Big E closes into like the elimination record of Roman, not beat it, but get close to it to be like, he was getting there, you know, or a different highlight besides how is Kofi going to get evade getting eliminated. Like right now, it feels like it's the audition for the see which of the 3 guys is better as opposed to everybody just being together to win tag titles, because you know they just lost the belts. You don't want them to have the belts again, do you?
No.
So what are you going to do with them? This is where they're going right now. It's like, all right, this week we're going to show why Mario is cool. Next week we're going to show why Luigi's cool. Every now and then we'll break out Bowser to see who he's going to eat. No, you know, but all together they're the New Day, and they're going to remind you why they're the guys that you gyrate for. Yeah. That's what I took from it. So,
Hector, was it appropriate to call Xavier the weakest link of the group?
I get why he was saying that. Like why Titus said that.
He has the dimmest spotlight of the 3.
Yeah.
Big E was
he's
Big
known
E
for
was
standing outside on the ring.
Big E was with Dolph Ziggler when he won the title.
Okay.
Kofi Kingston has done more than enough in his career for him to float on his own. What's for the most part, without the New Day, what's an Xavier Woods? He needs more.
Okay.
He didn't get enough time with R-Truth to build up, this is Xavier Woods. He does XYZ. And then, like, with the New Day, it's just like, it's not Xavier Woods. It's a member of the New Day.
Right.
Like, what is an Xavier Woods? Like, brag about your video game channel. Brag that you like all these things. Show us what you can do. And I think in these matches where they're going to start doing individual with the New Day instead of team matches is where we're going to start seeing parts of Xavier that we need for him to balance out with the rest of the group. A side of Big E that we didn't know, or a side of Kofi, like, oh man, I forgot he can do that, or I didn't know he was like this on the mic, or something like that. So this is where everybody's going to start like leveling out so that they can solidify their base, I guess.
I might be off base on this, but is Xavier, is he under 205?
Ooh, I don't know.
If you want to do singles and Roman's got a lock on the U.S. title,
Stick him in the cruisers.
What about Kofi?
Either way.
I don't know.
Well, I'm saying I'm focusing on him right now because we're saying
he's a dimmest.
Yeah. So, or the weak link, as Titus would say.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's a thought. I mean, I could be totally wrong. I can't think off the top of my head how much they weigh. But I mean,
yeah,
if they're under 205, then why not?
Why not?
And 205, you need some more star power. The cruiserweights need more star power.
They do.
I like the fact that they debuted Tajiri this week. That should have been from jump. That should have been from your get-go.
Established talent.
Yeah.
Somebody.
They're on the right track with Neville and Tajiri. Kind of keep that going. Get some more.
You didn't catch 205 last night, did you?
Bits and pieces of it. Not
you
enough.
saw the Tony Nese package for the most part.
Calm down.
Ooh.
You saw 205. What?
No, I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch
all.
it either? Wow. I'll make it quick. Tajiri debuted. Awesome. Mustafa Ali.
Okay.
We talked about this a few weeks ago. It's like, hey, you see a guy that looks Arab, and fans of the casual people are going to look at him and say, oh, he's a bad guy. He debuted on the show last week, apparently, because we didn't watch it. It was our week of the end of the year. He debuted.
I actually watched that last week, though.
He debuted in Chicago, which is his hometown.
Right.
Again, you asked a couple weeks ago, what good does a home crown pop do for you on your debut? Like you had that question with Noam Dar. Well, he debuted last week in Chicago, got a face reaction for it. This week they booked him against the heel. Mm-hmm. And he played off. He wrestled Noam Dar, and he actually played off as the face. And it's kind of interesting. that like goes back to the conversation I had before. Is like I wondered with the promos building up to Muhammad Hassan's debut, that would have been a very cool like anti-hero to build up. You know, to fight against not just the company's opinion, but people's in general, that you can have a good guy come from Saudi Arabia or from a nation out there, you know, so to have a guy like Ali actually pushed as a face so far, it's fresh. And
yeah,
that
it's
falls,
different.
Yeah. So you following freshness after a show with SmackDown, which we're like applauding their freshness, like feels like it just goes hand in hand.
Well, the thing with that, and I don't know if it's on purpose or just by circumstance, but And you just said that, you know, he looks a certain way, or he's from a certain
stereotype.
country.
Yeah.
And that's not on. I don't want to say that's on us. That is on 30 years of WWE.
Yes.
Anytime
Tiger Ali Singh,
anybody from
Davari.
from that whole. And this is what I'm saying. I don't know if it's by design or circumstance, but we can have a face Ali whenever you have Davari on the same show
as the heel
to
balance out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you can still have.
So you wouldn't think we wouldn't have one without the other? You think Ali as a face wouldn't strive if Ali wouldn't if Davari wouldn't?
Yeah. No, I like to think so. I think we've seen enough change in WWE the last year or so to say that okay, maybe they're not. And now once Vince gets a hold of them, and once Vince starts seeing, hey, what's his last name? Why is he a face?
Do you think there's enough change in the audience to accept a face like him?
They're cheering for him, right?
Well, so far. I hope it lasts. And then the main event was TJP against Neville. Neville beat him with the superplex off the top rope.
Nice.
And Neville is the heels,
All right, now
that's a breath of fresh air.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so for Neville, with him being a heel, he's had maybe 2 or 3 matches since he's been back. One match I saw, I don't know if it was on which show it was on. But I noticed he's got a slower pace. He's more grounded, it feels like.
A little
They
bit,
remixed his song and slowed it down.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not like
which it needs to be.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that the black with the gunmetal gray.
Yeah, I like that
tights,
too. Yeah.
and growing out the beard.
Trying to.
Yeah.
What do you think about this style, this new change of style for wrestling for him?
I like it.
Has he done the Red Arrow yet?
No, I don't think he
No.
has.
The match I saw,
done-
he won with a small package. I can't remember what match that was, but he didn't do anything flashy.
He's done some flashy stuff.
He did the
He's
standing-
still a cruiserweight.
He still did the standing
Moonsault.
no, it was shooting star press.
Mhm.
Okay.
Or maybe it wasn't moonsault. I don't know. Where they're lying down, he does it right. That's like the flashiest thing I've seen him do since he's been back.
And it's kind of weird to say because my biggest complaint of the cruiserweights was that I was expecting more high flyer guys, and Neville being the highest flyer that they have on the roster in general.
Yeah.
You would think I'd be complaining that Neville's slowing down, but it's just it's a huge change in character of what we're used to seeing Neville.
He's just interesting.
Yeah, Corey Graves on the mic is saying, "Dude, if he had this turn when we were tag champs in NXT, we'd still be champs."
Yeah.
You know, it's stuff like that that's just adding more character.
So might have broken your neck.
Corey Graves it's one of those things where they need to get back to focusing on their commentators and trying to get them moving. And I think for the most part, or some of the commentators are really good at doing that.
Morrow, Corey, and Austin Aries on commentary right now feels like a smooth commentary on 205 Live. Like there isn't anything in the way that makes it uncomfortable for them.
The first day was a little rough with Austin Aries because he was going a little bit too far, but yeah.
It's a whole lot better than just jamming Todd Phillips in the middle
on
SmackDown.
Yeah, you mean on the end?
Yeah.
The only thing I would say about Neville that I've noticed to kind of turn it down just a little bit is I get what he's saying about and I love it. I love when he first mentioned the King of the Cruiserweights. I love that.
I like that.
It's a good ring to it. You know, it's King of the Cruiserweights.
Where's my crown?
Stop. Exactly. Okay. Turn it down just a little bit, buddy. I get your moniker, King.
He sounds like somebody from Game of Thrones. Give that man a crown.
Exactly. Don't push you. We know he owns a cape. He owns a cape. We know he does.
You're afraid, huh?
Where's
Yeah.
Dingy?
Yeah.
That deserved a ding. Dingy's way over there. God damn it. All right. Daryl in the chat says he has done the Red Arrow a couple of times since turning heel.
Okay, so see that, and that's why
But he
I said I
does it
didn't-
slower.
Oh God. I was about to do the ding, but not for you. You bitch.
Anyway, that's all I got. So.
Okay.
So we go from capes to gauntlets. Yeah. Did you watch the latest issue of Lucha Underground?
Yes.
I got tapped on this
Issue
one.
because it's a comic basically.
Yes.
So the best of 5 series. It was 2-1. Cage was winning over Tejano. In the middle of the show, we had match number 4.
Asterisk, I'm like 4 weeks behind Lucha.
Oh, you need to catch up, buddy.
He'll get there. Tejano beats him. They even it up 2-2.
Right. And it was really quick. And it was kind of disappointing. And I was like, oh, this series has kind of sucked.
Then what?
But Dario came out and said, you know what? Let's have the 5th match right now. Don't even leave the ring. Go. And they went. And that second match was what I expected it to be. And it was pretty good. I really enjoyed the match. In fact, Match of the week candidate for me.
It could be, well, before with the Wrestle Kingdom stuff, this could be my pick.
I think, well, I had this question in the chat earlier, and I went ahead and answered it because I figured that this is how we're going to do it. Wrestle Kingdom will be counted for next week's Match of the Weeks.
It's a separate episode. If there's anything on Wrestle Kingdom, it's in. Like, it's not going to interfere with this.
Actually,
Okay.
What about last week's, the week we missed for Lucha? Was there a Match of the Week candidate on there for that steel cage match? Between Sexy
I
Star?
loved it.
It was good. It was real good.
It was awesome.
Do you want to retroactively make that anything?
Well, it happened last year, so we can't really do anything about it now.
Yeah, that was on the
That's
2016
true. That's
calendar.
true,
What,
You know.
Speaking of which, he mentioned it. What did you think of the cage match? I raved over it. That was like
I
the
liked
cherry on top for Sexy Star.
I liked it a lot. I liked the story with Sexy. I see your argument for Sexy Star being female competitor of the year even more so now, because not only did I watch that week, but I watched a week previous to that, so I saw all the build and everything, and how much care they were putting into Sexy Star, and then putting that tie in there with Mariposa, like who had, I know it was you that had the spider, and she's like, I would have put a butterfly in your locker, not a spider. Like all that shit tying together, I was like, damn, they really have given a lot to Sexy Star throughout the year. So yeah, I really liked it. But the cage match, woo, that was solid, man. That was solid.
Nice.
It could have been like, it was definitely probably my match of the week if we had done that week. I don't know if I would have thumbed up or thumbed down. I want to lean towards up for it being a candidate of year, but it was definitely not the match of the year.
We're gonna have to modify the process, because I've noticed specifically that there's a difference between match of the years that are television, like Lucha or Raw or SmackDown or NXT, compared to like Wrestle Kingdom, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, which, because it's 30 minutes and there's no break, and you get more of it. We have those higher up. So like we had 5 matches of Lucha, or 4 or 5 on our list last year, and they were all on the bottom. But those were some of the best matches on television. There's nothing from the episode of Raw or SmackDown on that show. Nothing from the episode of NXT on that list.
Yeah.
You know, and the only reason that the Cruiserweight Classic match with Ciampa Gargano was on there was because it was built as like a series, not a weekly episodic show.
Right.
So
it was a special event.
Yeah. So if we were to do something like Match of the Years, we might have to like separate them between pay-per-view and television to kind of get it.
We got all year to figure that out.
And we ain't gonna do it so far right now because we ain't got nothing on the list.
Yeah, I mean, so far there's nothing on the list. If we wind
one
up,
day we haven't had nothing on the list yet.
oh, I know,
We're slacking.
Oh,
We're slacking.
yeah.
We'll have 9 by March.
If come December of 2017, and we have 9, 10, something like that, maybe we'll need to decide to put the division between pay-per-view and TV matches, and we'll figure that out then. But as of right now, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Regardless, the cage match
won.
Fuck. Yeah.
Cage won. The best of 5.
Brian Cage. Yes, Brian Cage won the best of 5. Yes, the machine.
What did he win?
He won the unique opportunity.
Oh no.
And Dario comes out there and says, hey, you won. You're going to claim your prize, but not in front of all these people. Go to my office. So I took him into the office. It's like, what the fuck? And he's like, here, open this box. Okay. Opens the box. Why are you giving me this? I don't give a shit. It's like, but try it on. Okay. And he pulls it out of the box, and it's a big gauntlet. And I'm like, okay. Thanks, but no thanks, you jackass. And it's like, no. Try it on. Okay. He tries it on. Electricity, lightning. It fuses to his arm, and he raises up his hand, and it just. I think I'll keep it.
After choking Dario and
choking Dario. Yeah, I was like, I think I'll keep it. Oh, what the hell is this? What power does he have? Why is this? What the fuck is going on?
This fucking show.
What happens if you masturbate with that hand?
But if you,
so many questions.
Dude, imagine all the kilowatts of cum.
Oh God.
Dude, if you were caught up on this show, you'd be on it like we were. Not literally. Well, you might be literally, but you know.
We.
All sweaty.
Okay, the other part that we've been building to every other week, if not every week, we open the episode, and Darth Vampiro has a new apprentice.
Ah, yes. Prince Puma.
Oh, so he finally broke, huh?
Yeah. So instead of it being orange with black trim, it's black with orange trim now.
He's won it before.
Oh, a couple of times, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mill had a match against Sammy Callahan. I forgot what his name is in Lucha. It's been a while. Prince Puma comes out.
Jeremiah Crane.
Thank you.
Yes.
Puma interferes, beats the hell out of him.
You know what? I saw something. It was on the same week of the steel cage match. There was a backstage thing with Jeremiah. He got a Ouija board. He's got a Ouija board from Katrina.
Yeah.
Right? And now he's just as old.
Apparently, there's a love connection somehow between Jeremiah and Katrina. And that's how this match with Mill happened.
Right through her.
Yeah. So that's how this match happened. Crane got the win with interference from Puma.
Gosh,
Puma beat the shit out of Muertes. And instead of Puma kneeling on the Aztec symbol, he walks to the corner of the ring and he kneels to Vampiro, and Vampiro stands up and he's just like soaking it all in. So that's where
Has Pentagon been in this situation?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Is he on the show? Like
on this episode? No, he wasn't.
No.
And this is the first time that Puma did something, right? Okay.
All right. So maybe next week.
Yeah.
But in a nutshell, that's the parts of Lucha that deserve mention on the show.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
I need to sit down and like find time to get
You do, man. You do.
Well, you have them all on your computer.
Yeah. Shut up.
Legally. Yeah.
Legally?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I already
Who are you? What have you done with Travis?
I already
I don't know what
bought.
you're talking
I already bought the season on iTunes. Eventually, $2. It added up to where I bought all the season. So now the next like 8 or 9 episodes are on the house because I already got it. So, and Travis has a link to my account, so they're on his computer legally.
Legally.
Yeah, funds have been transferred.
I don't know why you're making a big deal about it being legal.
So, yeah. Here's what I want to make a big deal of. We got 2 hours worth of NXT from Japan.
So
that happened a month ago.
No.
And the main event was a match they already aired.
Right.
Dude, I was so confused about that when that show started. And they said, the rematch, Nakamura versus Samoa Joe. I was like, again?
My attention span, as soon as I clicked play on the NXT episode, lasted about as long as Ronda Rousey's last fight.
Ooh, that's our Ronda Rousey talk right there.
To the point that I didn't even watch the episode at all. And there was good stuff on there. TM61 against
DIY.
Tajiri and Tozawa against DIY.
That was a pretty good match. That was a fun match. It wasn't. I wouldn't say it was the best match, but it was fun. It was fun. And there was another match in there too.
Nia Jax against Asuka.
Yeah, that. What was that, dude? The end of that match, it was like paid. It was move the
paid by numbers from the last takeover.
Yeah, I was like, come on, seriously, they're replaying that thing with. Remember when Nia Jax she lost to Bayley and she yelled at her right before she got killed. Same thing. It's like, come on, they're trying to build up Nia Jax as this big monster female, and she always loses. What the hell?
Yeah.
And then I turned it off at the main event. I didn't even watch it.
When I heard that it was just the stuff from Japan and they were just replaying Joe Nakamura, I had 2 words. Who cares?
Wow.
I didn't watch it. I didn't even care.
What did you said? You just said something, Chris, that they flipped it. Like it should have been backwards. Like they should have aired that match. The Samoa Joe Nakamura match from there first. They should have just started with this. They had it.
Yeah, they should have just given us 2 weeks worth of Japan stuff.
And we know they can do it. They had the matches from the tag team tournament thing where that weekend where they refilmed it from California and they aired it that same week.
Yeah, we
know they can do it. They have the technology.
It might have just been the timing, and by timing I mean WWE wants to make every one of the big 4 a big fucking deal. So we're gonna wait 3 months between TakeOver Brooklyn and the next match, which was TakeOver Toronto, where they could have given us just a TakeOver from Full Sail a month before, like in October, and then given us NXT Takes Over Japan and given us this.
Yeah.
So that we would have been satiated and maybe delay the Australia one for a little bit, but it was just too much, dude. Like it literally felt like I was watching Ring of Honor for a second. It's like, this time is way out of order. Like everything was out of order to the point. And now this episode airing right now, apparently it's 2 hours from the Australia show. Yeah. And they're ending it with the cage match of Joe Nakamura again. So why am I spending 2 hours on shit that happened a month and a half ago where the repercussions are already done?
Before we were watching NXT, when it was after it being a reality show, but kind of like the continuation of FCW, and they were just kind of doing shows here and there, but you had to find it. But it was simple. It was just shows. That's when people started catching on. We didn't catch on. We were a little late to the party, but then we finally started catching on. And then when it was like a show on the network every week in order, where they're just taking these bite-sized 1-hour shows and putting in order where there's a storyline every week, we loved it. But I think what fucked it up was then they wanted to get a little bit too big for their britches, which at the time, again, we loved it, where they started doing pay-per-view specials or takeover specials and whatnot, and naming them different things. It's gotten out of hand to where that's their show, and the NXT show itself, which should have been their show, is not a show anymore.
It's Raw, basically.
It's Raw, but it's even less than that. Like they don't treat it with the same.
It's superstars.
Respect. Yeah, there you go. It's like superstars.
You know what? You know what I miss about the early days of NXT?
What's that?
And I would catch some episodes on Hulu before the network was released. One thing I miss, and we're never going to go back to this, I don't think, for NXT, but it was a time frame when you had your NXT wrestlers on their show doing the thing, but throughout the course of that show, it would be like an episode here, an episode there. You would have a mid-carder come down from the main roster and have a little program with an NXT dude.
Tyson Kidd,
Curtis Axel. Damian Sandow, all the members of the Shield, even they came back. I remember there was a big deal because they came back as the Shield, but I liked it because it was like a separate continuity from the main roster. Like you had a storyline going on with Damian Sandow in NXT that had nothing to do with what was going on Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah.
I love that. It was like its own separate show. It was its own entity, and now
they're trying to make everything one animated universe.
They're trying to, I think you just said, you're trying to blow it up too much to get too big for their britches. And now it's just like literally a breeding ground for the main roster. And it doesn't feel as special as it did back then when it was first discovered.
It's having trouble figuring out what it wants to be. Is it developmental or is it a brand? Yeah, thank you. Exactly. That's our NXT talk.
Hold on. Hector saying, would you think that since Royal Rumble is around the corner, NXT would begin to get our attention to see who might appear in the Rumble?
Well, last couple of years, they've had 1 or 2 NXT dudes. Mm-hmm. I remember, was it like 3 or 4 years ago, they had a tournament on NXT, or a Battle Royal on NXT, something on NXT to determine who would
show up at Mania.
Yeah.
The Battle Royal.
That was Bo Dallas.
It was Bo Dallas won 1 year, and then Tommy won the next year.
No, Hideo Itami won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. This was a Royal Rumble thing. There was something. Okay. Bo Dallas originally made his first debut at the Royal Rumble because he won some kind of like a gauntlet match or something on NXT.
It was a Battle Royal.
Yeah.
On NXT, he won a Battle Royal to be in the Royal Rumble.
Right.
That's what it was.
And that's what it was. Yeah. The Hideo Itami thing, that was.
But I think Hideo Itami was also a Battle Royal, wasn't it?
No, it was a matches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck if I know.
But anyway, it was, again, it was developmental at that time, and it was its own separate thing. So where they had to fight and claw to get to that main roster, where it's like, now you just wait to be, taken from there and put into the main roster, whether you're ready or not.
Well, you asked if we were looking for anybody for NXT to debut in the Rumble. Paul Heyman had an opinion on that. What did you think of Bring It to the Table?
I love that show. There was, as far as, debuting a new I guess it's be considered a talk show. I don't know if it's going to be weekly, monthly, or whatever they're going to do with this thing, but I love the format of it. I hate to use the word, it felt legit, but it felt like they're taking things that we all talk about and they brought it to the table.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, as good as some of those topics were, it was like, okay, here's what they're doing. They're just finding things on message boards and things like that the IWC is bitching about, and they're pointing out and they're shutting them down. That's what they're doing, or at least that's what they're attempting to do. There was there's a question about the 3-hour Raw. I was like, come on. I love the fact that they brought it. It's on air on the network that they're talking about some of these matters, but the response is kind of corporate. JBL running off all those numbers about how many dollars revenue they get for that 3rd hour, and
Devil's advocate, he's a businessman that's a millionaire.
True.
I don't want to hear freaking like Titus brought out those numbers. Yeah. JBL was more believable spotting out those numbers.
Yeah. No, and I agree with that. And it was just in hindsight, after I had time to think about it, I was like, oh, okay, well, but when I was first watching it, I was all down for it. I
kind of appreciate the fact that they acknowledge this stuff. Not necessarily that they're just like shutting it down for us to call out on it. It's just the fact that, like, for example, the wall breaking. I think the first installment of wall breaking that I noticed that I really enjoyed was Triple H on the Steve Austin podcast is saying the biggest problem with Raw, it's 3 hours.
Yeah.
We don't need it to be 3 hours. And that's fucking Triple H saying that on the fucking network.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was able to say that, I was like, I want to see more of this.
Yeah.
So when Edge and Christian started flirting with, oh, well, WWE talk about it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, cool. So with this show, which is pretty much like a carbon copy of Pardon the Interruption from ESPN, PTI, which there's some of those elements that I tried bringing on the show. People might not notice. I love the fact that they take this route.
Mm-hmm.
And it does have that ESPN feel that this is something like, this isn't sports entertainment. This feels like a heated discussion, like a debate. And the presentation of it, granted, it took me a few minutes to get over the geek that I didn't realize who the hell he is, and I still don't care who he is. The Rosenberg guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's not on my WWE television. I know who JBL is. I know who Paul Heyman is. Like if that your Travis analogy. Oh, if I'm from New York, I love Peter Rosenberg, but I don't know him. I'm not from New York. So I don't give a shit.
Okay, I'll play your
that
card.
aside.
No, I'll play your card here, devil's advocate here. I'll go 50-50 on this because I'm kind of torn on the same thing. I love the fact that they're bringing an outside guy to ask the questions. I love that. What I don't like about it is he did one of the pre-shows for one of the last pay-per-views also.
Right.
And I love
TLC.
it. And I loved it. I love it. And I think they're going to be doing that from now on. They're going to have an outside guy on those pre-shows talking and giving analysis from an outside point of view. I love that. My only thing on that is the last time he was there doing the pre-show thing, he started shilling out the network and everything. I was like, come on, dude. If you're an outsider, you don't be shilling that shit. That's what they're for. That's their work for the company. Payroll. So that makes me think that you're not really an outsider and you actually really work for him and you're pretending to be an outsider. That's my takeaway from it. My other kind of nit to pick about picking him for this host, it became obvious to me, especially towards the end of that whole show, that he is how can I put it? He's a representative of the IWC. He is a representative of the fans. They kind of brought that up themselves on that.
They made fun of him, assuming he's making fun of everybody else.
Yeah, he's acknowledged himself as a representative of the IWC. So that I could tell, like Paul Heyman and JBL, they were mocking him.
Like they were mocking us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to me, I get why I get it because that's Vince McMahon humor. I've seen it before. I've seen it done on Raw. I just wish it was toned down just a little bit to where it wasn't so in your face that he's the IWC. They're shitting on us. They're bitching about us. Okay, well let's shit on them. Yeah. And that's kind of what it felt like towards the end of that show. I hope they can adjust that format a little bit and make it more like legit and make it more, this is what it is. This is an outsider, his reporter. He's going to ask some questions. You two, you work for the company, you answer. And let's have a discussion about it. That's what I want.
Do you want to rotate the people?
Sure. I don't know. I do like
do you want to see Michael Hayes or do you want to see Triple H or do you want to see somebody else besides Heyman or JBL? Or do you think that pairing of those three are it?
As if JBL and Paul Heyman will come back eventually, yes, then let's rotate them out. Because I do like that combo. I thought for some of the stuff that we're saying, it was very entertaining and insightful on some things that they were saying. But yeah, and it would be cool to see like a different take on some other people's opinions on some things too.
Well, the thing that happens between the three of us, when we build something and introduce it to the guy outside, he's got his eyes like firmly on the screen. So we were raving about this before we started recording to the man in the middle, Papa Grande, who didn't watch the episode. He watched it 30 minutes before we started recording. What did you think of everything you saw?
Well, the little thing about whether or not you guys build it up and then, have me, you guys kind of got beat to the punch on that. Not only was it you guys right before trying to
your mama, your daddy, your uncle, your girlfriend, everybody.
Everybody was saying, "Oh God, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this." The first one was Arnold from my coworker at work. Yeah, he was the first one, and he said, "Oh my God, the guy that was hosting it, man, that could have been you, man. It was just some dude." I was like, "Okay."
Don't give Abel false hope. He will never even sniff anything WWE.
There you have it.
Not even in a bowl of alphabets. No.
He gets independent from shut down and over here.
Stop. Oh, shit, he's over 3.
Yeah.
Holy shit, he's over 3. Go on Raw, please. Shut down Raw.
Oh, my God. So, yeah, I was like, he was trying to build it up like, oh, my God, they really let this dude just be, like, just it was just a mark. It was just a mark that was on there, and he was taking on Heyman and going back and forth with JBL, and it was great. Like, okay, that doesn't sound like WWE. He goes, yeah, Vince must have not been watching it or something. You know, I'm like, really?
Vince was under the fucking table. Did you not see that?
Oh, yeah. Well, when I sat down and watched it, I was like, oh, it's this guy. Like, I thought it was just some random ass dude. No, it's this dude. I'm like, all right, the ESPN fucker. All right, whatever. And then they started with the format, with the thing on the side, and how they're going to hit the topics. And I thought exactly, I thought PTI or something like that. I was like, this is the most ESPN thing that the network has done. For as much as the network said that we could have ESPN style shows, this is the closest they've ever hit to that. And I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. That was the first part that I was like, dude, I'm a little put off by this because it felt too much like they were desperately trying to copy somebody else who's more successful. And I'm like, oh, man, come on, be original, be yourself. It felt like great value brand ESPN, and it didn't tickle my pickle because of that. But then when we got into the content of everything, I kind of have the same opinion that you had, Trav, where it's like, it wasn't like Arnold was saying where, oh, man, he was letting them have it and they were talking back and forth and Vince wasn't watching. No, Vince had his hand up JBL and up Heyman's ass and talking through them.
That explained Heyman's faces.
I know. And it wasn't just him. Vince had a third hand up this other ESPN dude's ass. It's like,
leg.
Hey, you're going to ask these questions and you're going to, play this part of being the fan and you're going to be the stupid Mark, okay? So make sure you act like a stupid Mark and you're going to ask the questions in the way I think a Mark would ask the questions and not, it was like, come on, man. And then like Heyman and more so Heyman than JBL, but Heyman and JBL just ganging up on him and browbeating him and didn't take him seriously when he tried to give the opposing view. It did exactly what you just said, and it made me feel like it's like Vince kind of just gave a big fuck you to the audience that watches him.
During that 3-hour Raw segment, I think is where I felt that the most. Where he was offering like, yeah, well, I fast forward through Raw. I was like, well,
it's like, yeah, I'd like to see it 2 hours. And then Heyman just like, yes or no. And they was like, well, yes. Well, JBL's question was yes and why. Yeah. And when he tried to give the qualifiers as why and how he see, because that would have been my answer. I was like, I understand JBL's answer. I understand Vince's answer that, hey, it's extra revenue money to have another hour on TV. Well, yeah, if you were on TV 24 hours a day, you make oodles of money too. But us sitting at home as fans, we're not about making the money part. We're about whether or not we're entertained, the art of it part, whether or not we like it. And when he tried to say, well, I enjoy, Heyman discredited him. It's not about whether or not you enjoy it. Yes, it is. That's exactly the point, whether or not we enjoy it. And then when he tried to make the argument, well, we're all addicted to WWE, I'm like, I wouldn't have fucking said that. I'm addicted to WWE. Dude, if they made Raw 4 hours, and if they made SmackDown 3 hours, I'm struggling enough as is. Hell, in the middle of last year, we almost fucking shut down the show because I was having so much anxiety over, oh my God, we got to watch SmackDown now when we weren't even covering SmackDown. It was like, dude, if they
half-assed SmackDown what we used to do.
Yeah.
Or the week after, and it was
it was nothing to actually write home about then. Yeah. But dude, that's not what I would have said. That's not how I would have presented it. That's not how I would. But it was definitely Vince. That is,
and that's where I say that the 3 hour thing is where I saw it the most because JBL kind of like shot himself in the foot. Like he's like, yeah, well, the cruiserweight division already makes up 4 segments, so that's almost the whole.
Which wasn't right true.
There. So let me call JBL out.
All right.
Why not keep Raw 2 hours? Make your first hour 205 live for the network, so you open your house show or Raw with your 205 show, so you end the show with what's most important. All due respect to Neville and TJP, that's not what I paid money for. I paid money to see AJ Styles and John Cena close the show.
Right.
205 live in your first hour. USA still going to have their third hour of WWE programming. Is just not necessarily going to be Raw, but it's still from the same place, the same show, and Raw will feel like its own show for 2 hours. And if you don't want to watch 205, fuck, you don't watch 205 live. But then that solves the problem of why we're fast forwarding through 3 hours of fucking Raw on the same channel when you can have the network 205 on Monday and you watch it later, and then or watch it at 8, and you can still have a little fast forward use for the commercials. And Raw is still 2 hours. And that, like a real IWC guy, if he's going to ask that question, he would have been prepared for the rebuttal.
Right.
Instead of Heyman just chopping him up before he even.
Just making him look stupid.
Before he's like, instead of yes and why, he just like, nah.
It was like there was preparation and, hey, these are the questions you're going to ask.
Right.
You're going to play this. Yeah, you're going to play this part. And then he's going to tear you down. And make sure you really give it to him good. All right. And
spit
then
on it before you
there's,
did.
okay, there's actually an interview I saw. And Paul Heyman, this isn't the first time he's done that, and actually this is lightweight compared. I saw
he has a lawyer.
Well, there's an interview. Someone was just asking questions, and Paul Heyman was just being just a total dick to him. Kind of like we saw like a light version of this on the show, but like any question this guy was asking him, like Paul Heyman was just like shutting him. What do you mean? What are you talking about? You know how he gets like he's just. Kind of like he was doing, he's shutting down and no, that's not what I'm saying. You know, it's like when he would say something and he just kind of cuts him off and just shuts him down.
Yeah, like why aren't you bringing a Conor McGregor? Okay, what about Conor McGregor? Like,
yeah, it's
the fuck.
He was doing that for the sake of being a dick, pretty much.
Yeah,
but
if you're trying to play the part of a heel in a wrestling ring, that makes sense. But this wasn't him trying to be a heel. This is a show that you're supposed to be entertaining people on. Like, why be a dick?
And even
unless that's
him at the top of the show. Like,
unless that's who he is in real life. Like JBL was calm when he was talking on the show. Like that's how I would imagine JBL talking if we're sitting drinking beers talking about last night's show. Maybe that's Paul Heyman in real life. He's sitting in front of a couple of beers and he's just that way, except like that. Like he's himself all the time. Maybe that's just him.
I don't know. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I think we're good.
Are we done with this?
Yeah,
show?
We're ready for SmackDown. Unless somebody else out there's got something down there. No.
No. We have people talking about that it's official. DDP is going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame this year.
Is that official?
That's what they're saying.
It's on the internet. It has to be true.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about SmackDown, the show that we all love?
Currently,
today, January 3rd, 4th. Who saw the Ziggler turn coming?
I didn't see it coming.
I thought they gave up on it.
Yeah.
Did you guys like it?
I want to withhold my judgment until I see what they do with it. Because if Ziggler comes on next week and like apologizes and say I just lost my cool, then that's not really
that's backstage.
He's feuding with Apollo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I was going. And it's funny because they had that match. Corbin
Ziggler.
Yeah, Corbin beat Ziggler, and then Kalisto. And I was like, oh fuck, really? I was like really upset. I was like, come on, no, I don't want to see Kalisto and Corbin anymore. Fuck that, he's moved on. And then that's going to kind of turn on that where Ziggler he got fed up. He super kicked him for I guess coming out and helping him. He kind of snapped right there. All the yes chants going when he did that. I thought, okay, I was like, okay, well, I guess everybody's ready for this. And then later on, they did the backstage thing with all the faces in the locker room, and he goes in there and starts throwing a hissy fit and throwing furniture around. And I like Cruz's reaction when he's like, hey, dude, there was no call for that. Ziggler was like, hey, it's none of your business. And he's like, well, Kalisto's my friend, so it is my business. I love that.
Calm.
That was good. That was good.
It was calm, but it was a legit reason to get in his face.
Yes.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, the only other thing would be if Ziggler just, like, went up punched in the face for no reason.
Yeah.
This was a catalyst for, hey, man, Kalisto's my friend. You just, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
I love that. It was nice. It was a good setup, and I think
it made sense.
It made sense, and finally, it's going to freshen up Ziggler, and we're going to have something for Cruz. because he's in MIA for.
He's been the guy that's just happy to be there for ever since he debuted.
And now I think we're gonna get something different.
Good.
Did this promo give you any interest in watching Apollo Crews?
We'll have to wait and see. Like him, I'll just wait and see what we're doing. Well, let's see what happens next week.
Okay.
But it's got my curiosity.
Okay.
Next week might have my attention.
Okay. And you agree with him?
I agree.
Okay. How about Corbin? He's in the Rumble.
Can we pause for a second on Corbin and just talk about how much or at least I like his new little background Titantron thing there with the shadows descending on the city.
The end of days.
Yeah. Isn't that cool? I like it.
Actually, I saw that last week.
Yeah, that's what we missed last week.
Yeah, that was something we did.
We touched on it.
Yeah.
I made it an honorable mention for match of the year, actually. The triple threat match, Baron Corbin, Ziggler, and Styles. Dude, all three of those guys were on point that match. I can't find any flaws in that match. It was just well executed all the way around.
For all the love that we gave Lucha Underground on their televised episodes for match of the year, that was probably the only match, in my opinion, on SmackDown, or maybe in WWE television in general, to be worthy of being in the same breath as what we had on match of the year as far as television matches go. That was fucking awesome. Again, the commentary, the three guys in the ring. You know, it's always a cluster when there's that third guy and you don't know what they're going to do with the third guy, right. But it felt like it fit in perfect. And it was really well
and
done.
It was another spotlight for Corbin. I think we said this on our show, on the end of the year show, that AJ Styles is Superstar of the Year.
Yes.
I'm making a strong case for maybe Rookie of the Year or Breakout Star of the Year. It might be Baron Corbin. Because
I'm not mad at that.
When he was first introduced, I was not.
Yay, he won the Battle Royal. Now what?
And I hate that. I hate the fact that when you make a debut or something like that and you have that accolade, that follows you around and it sets that expectation that you're going to be the main eventer. It's like.
What did it do for Cesaro when he won it?
No, John. It's like when Vince McMahon comes out and introduces the chosen one as Drew McIntyre. What did that do for Drew McIntyre?
I was at that episode of
that puts up so much pressure for that wrestler with that burden of being the chosen one or something like that moniker.
Well, he chose Elijah Burke as the future of ECW. That I was there for.
That's what I'm saying. That's stuff like that. And I think and I equate what happened with Baron Corbin's debut with that. So it took a while. I'm not gonna lie. I think that small things helped. I think a T-shirt helps.
Oh, I thought you meant Callisto.
He is a small thing.
No, that was one of the things I didn't like about Baron Corbin at first because I was like, okay, he beat him. Let's go. Let's move on. But it didn't help the fact that Callisto was hurt for 3 months.
Right. And then put that feud on pause.
Yeah, they put him on pause. And then to come back just to get beat down again. Who cares?
Yeah.
They should have stopped that whole thing altogether, put Callisto on 205, move on for something else. But once he got past Callisto, I started to see a change. He's starting to come into his own as far as his character and what he does, I think.
I'm really leaning towards completely agreeing with you. Let me ask Chris. Is there anyone else that you could pull out of your ass to say was Rookie of the Year last year?
It's hard to throw around Rookie of the Year because I've seen Corbin on my television for a couple of years on NXT, and I wasn't the biggest fan.
Yeah.
But when they started incorporating things into his gimmick, like when he first showed up to the brand and he's the 3-time Golden Gloves winner, I don't think they bothered to do that in NXT until before he left. You know, and they started highlighting, okay, he has a metal theme music. He has a lot of tattoos. The better accolade that he got was Metal Athlete of the Year instead of getting saddled with the Battle Royal winner thing. I think that did more to help build Baron Corbin as a human character as opposed to just a novelty that by next year somebody else is going to win it.
Did it help with the talking smack stuff with him saying, I don't care, like I don't need any friends. And they're just trying to pull out more things out of him, you know, as far as his character on that show. And he was like, I don't give a shit, pretty much. Talking
smack turned me around on him, turned me around on Miz, turned me around on
Carmella.
Talking
Bliss.
smack. Yeah, Talking Smack really helped a lot of people. And I think it's just that different format of being more casual. You're still in front of the camera, but, you know, you're not in front of an audience of 15,000 people and you have to follow these bullet points or the script or whatever. It's like sit down, talk with these two. They'll do most of the heavy lifting. Just get your opinions and stay in character. And it's just fucking gold.
Yeah, I agree. It is something that it's an old formula that always worked. You know, just have a platform. It doesn't have to be in front of 20,000 people. It can be in a stage, you know, but as long as it's kind of free flowing with bullet points. Yeah,
I think it's about the opportunity. We've had this conversation before. Could Edge and Eddie Guerrero survived on Raw if because they weren't going to have those same luxuries that you would have had on SmackDown? Opportunities. Would Batista have been as good on
unique opportunities?
Could Batista have carried the brand Raw by itself instead of him carrying SmackDown those years?
Maybe
would Booker T have flown on Raw?
No.
Would JBL have flown on Raw?
Probably not.
No,
Rey Mysterio?
Cena did.
As soon as Cena that's after Cena was already tested on SmackDown. That's my biggest fear right now regarding the ratings war. Like, I would want to see Raw fix their own problems from within instead of seeing, holy shit, AJ's working on SmackDown. Let's throw him in the abyss on Raw and hopefully he'll patch up the hole.
I'm glad you said
it's
that.
like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing with Brock Lesnar is like, if you can't fix the booking with all this main event guys you got now, why are you bringing in Lesnar to fuck it up even more? You fix what you got going on now. Right now, Raw needs to fix Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, patch up Finn Balor, put some tape on him and get him back out here. Like, because right now, I'm worried that, oh shit, Alexa Bliss is awesome. Let's throw her on Raw. No, because that's what's happened to that was the history of SmackDown. Yeah. As soon as people got over on SmackDown, no, you're jumping to Raw. And you're
coming to the A show,
and you're
the flagship,
and you're like not even up beneath the crust. You're like down here by the pan on the bottom, like, and nothing else happens.
Yeah,
you know. So that's the part that worries me as far as SmackDown being Raw on the ratings. I don't want Raw to start taking SmackDown shit because that means SmackDown's going to take more of NXT shit, and that's going to everything from it's domino effect. Everything's going to suffer.
All right, you mentioned Alexa Bliss in there. Do we want to talk about the girls and the situation with La Luchadora and all this zaniness that's happening here?
We might have forgotten. I just remembered right now. I love the lucha-ness of this feud. Like, I think somebody's watching Lucha Underground because I'd never seen Becky Lynch do Pentagon's Armbreaker until she busted it out on that show. And that same match is when the Luchadora came out. I was like, somebody's got subscription to El Rey. Okay. Not that it needed it because we're already loving the feud now, but it's. I
was kind of surprised on this week's episode where the opponent was Aaliyah from NXT. Mm-hmm. That was an odd choice, like to throw her out there on live SmackDown. She's not ready, so I don't know.
And they even billed her as NXT, and when they put her name up on there, it was an NXT plaque.
Like, I really when I saw her debut, I was like, really?
That goes back to the situation where from the top down, because what is your intention with Aaliyah? Are you building her up for somewhat main event talent or lower main event status on your NXT women's division, or are you building up her to be a jobber on SmackDown? Like, what are you doing with the NXT?
Is Aaliyah La Luchadora?
No, La Luchadora is somebody else.
Is it Mickey?
No, fuck no.
No,
Deonna Purrazzo.
Yeah,
it's Purrazzo. Yeah. Are we sure?
I can tell.
Okay,
I can tell too.
Are we waiting for Mickey to show up?
I am.
Okay. Who'd you like to see Mickey fight?
Alexa.
Okay.
That's what I assume.
I'm not ready for Mickey yet because I still think the Becky Alexa feud has more legs to run.
Well, no.
But eventually,
there's some nice legs.
No, the
because Becky ain't got anything upstairs,
right?
But
no, this feud with Becky and Alexa, I think that's going to culminate at Royal Rumble.
Uh-huh.
And I think at that point we'll see, if not on the Royal Rumble, we'll see it on SmackDown the following week, the debut of because she's supposed to debut in January.
Yeah.
So, but that's definitely not her in the mask. Fuck that. No.
Okay.
She's not going to debut under a mask, and she's not going to be a lackey to Alexa. No.
Okay.
We raved about AJ Cena damn near half of the end of the year episode.
Yes.
What'd you think of the promo?
On God,
the contract.
Okay, both Raw and SmackDown. I was only half-assed watching. I was either cooking or eating or playing on my phone or just doing stuff generally, not completely paying attention to the show.
As a podcaster should.
Exactly. AJ and Cena got out there. I was like, ah, fucking contract signing, whatever. So started playing my Disney emoji game. And yeah, I know. I'm a terrible person. Anyway, I was kind of half listening, and I was like, whatever, playing the game, whatever. And I'm like, wait, hold on, what? And I put my phone down, and then I started watching. And then AJ started laying out stuff. I was like, oh, shit. And then he laid out more stuff. I'm like, oh, my God. The next thing I know, I'm not on the couch just relaxing. I was up in my seat actually watching on the edge, literally on the edge of the seat.
And you have a fat couch. Like, you have a lot of couch.
I have a beautiful couch. And then Cena started talking. I'm like, okay, here's where it all goes to shit. No, Cena started throwing shit out there. I was like, oh, like I liked it.
Stop right there. Why would you think it would go to shit when Cena started talking?
I thought Cena was gonna be just, whatever. I'm gonna kick your ass. Say whatever you want to say. This and that. And then AJ. Well, before Cena started saying anything, AJ interrupted him. I was like, no, don't even start talking about that. And then he kept going. So I really thought this was gonna be a typical Cena, just whatever. I'm Super Cena. Whatever.
It kind of was. The whole because of passion. Brr. I was like, yeah, I'm here. I'm here opening all the shows, and I'm over here doing all this.
You're here like, you have to be out here because I want to be.
Yeah, so you don't want to be here? Is that why you've been gone the last 3 months? That part of the Cena promo I didn't like. But when if you DVR through all that and got to the part where he said, you know what, congratulations. I lost respect for you. I think you're a punk bitch.
Yeah.
Now you got me back in.
Yeah.
As far as the Cena part.
Anytime someone calls someone a bitch, you got Chris's attention.
Oh, yeah. Bitch. Telling me there's a chance.
Hey.
So AJ Cena at the Rumble. Are your expectations higher, or
I'm calling it now? Cena's next T-shirt says "recognize."
Yes, that's the new phrase for 2017.
Recognize.
Yeah.
He said it once last week. Now he said it again. And I was like, "Oh fuck, here we go."
Here we go.
Yeah.
It's gonna be on the towel.
Yeah. No more hustle. It's like just recognize.
And there's not gonna be an O in there. It says recognize.
Ready, willing, and recognize.
Hustle, loyalty, recognize.
Oh God.
Say it.
Recognize.
Yeah. And then Corbin shows up out of nowhere.
Yes. I like that too. It doesn't matter who it is. I'm winning the Rumble match. And then right then and there, and I don't know why it took me until there, but right then and there, I realized, oh, wait a second. Yeah, that's right. Rumble is going to have SmackDown stars in it too. I'm over here thinking, well, it's got to be either Finn or Goldberg or Lesnar. I don't want, but maybe it's going to be Roman. Oh, fuck. All the people that were out there on Monday Night Raw, I was like, yeah, maybe. Oh, okay. And then when Corbin went out there and he said what he said, I was like, oh, somebody from SmackDown could win it. And I got so excited, and I was like, wait, what if Corbin does win it? Holy shit, that'd be crazy, and it just blew my mind.
Apparently.
Whole new world.
Not really. So Corbin comes out. That's another reason I'm thinking, you realize that Corbin is getting a little over, at least on me, because when his music hits, like, okay, where are we going with this? Where it's not like on Raw when I hear Roman's music hit, I was like, oh shit.
No, where are we going with this?
Yeah, exactly. So they're doing something right.
And it's funny you mentioned that because they're building that fast lane after the Royal Rumble is a Raw pay-per-view. And SmackDown's going to have the Elimination Chamber after the Royal Rumble. And I was thinking, okay.
So maybe a Raw superstar.
So I'm thinking, all right, a Raw superstar is going to win the Rumble and SmackDown's going to have a chamber for number one contender or whatever.
Okay.
But if you think about it, who has been in the title picture in the last 3 months?
On SmackDown?
AJ. Cena. Dean. Ziggler. Corbin. You find one more person, SmackDown
Miz.
could. The Miz?
Ellsworth.
Get the fuck out of here.
Fastlane could be whoever on Raw is going to wind up winning their title shot, and maybe SmackDown, the winner is going to be the Royal Rumble winner. And the Royal Rumble winner is just sitting back chilling while his number one contender opponent is getting the shit beat out of him in the chamber.
Or it could be the champ in the chamber. Whoever is a champ is defending it there.
Yeah.
They did that one year, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because normally it is the other way around, like you were saying, but that I think they've done that before, where it was a SmackDown guy and the SmackDown champion was just waiting in the wings for the 6 other competitors to beat the shit out of each other, and that winner goes on to WrestleMania.
Yeah. So it's wide open. Like, we've been focusing all this time on Raw that, I have. Dude, somebody from SmackDown could win this.
Hector has a good point in here. He says, how do you think it will work for the winner of the Rumble? Do you think they will jump brands since Raw is hurting for a main champion?
I hope they keep it separate. I
hope so too, but I mean that is something that they did, especially when it was like Raw, SmackDown, and ECW. Whoever won the title, they would go and pick, or not whoever won the Rumble would pick which title they would.
Here's what I think. I think the Finn Balor has enough motive to get a rematch for the title that he doesn't need to win the Rumble. Hell, he doesn't even have to be in the Rumble. He can come back at Fastlane as the number one contender and win it, and you already got Finn getting his rematch. There's the Raw side done. SmackDown, I thought was going to be, all right, we'll throw 6 guys in the chamber. The winner is your number one contender for Mania. But now, with so many people on SmackDown's main event scene, like I wouldn't mind seeing somebody from SmackDown win the Rumble and just sit back and chill while his opponent's in that elimination chamber, the winner.
Oh, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Did you guys catch Orton stealing Luke Harper's line with the run, and then Harper's like, "You motherfucker!"
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
I saw that. Yeah.
That was another thing we missed last week. New tag champs.
Oh yeah, American Alpha. Congratulations.
Yeah. What do we think about that?
I like it.
You think it's overdue?
I don't think it's overdue. I think it might be a little premature. Only because, wow, the Wyatts or new Wyatts' reign was just so short, and I wasn't expecting them to lose it that fast.
I think now I'm still predicting Orton versus Bray at Mania. But I'm expecting this Alpha feud with the Wyatts to go on until maybe past Rumble.
Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, the pay-per-view before, so that you can have that month of build. Because, dude, the Alphas beat Fandango and Tyler Breeze and, like, again, quicker than Ronda Rousey lost. No. So where's the competition for the Alphas? Like, are you going to be feeding them these, like, jobbers every week? So the feud right now, and we're getting the match next week on SmackDown, is the rematch for the tag titles. So hopefully this
let's see what happens.
Stretches out a little.
We're gonna see what happens next week for this coming week for SmackDown, that tag team title match. Because I would like to see. I don't want to see. Anytime you start getting a champion who dominates everyone, it becomes stagnant and it becomes
New Day.
Yeah, and it destroys the division.
Yeah,
like it.
That's kind of what's happening with Charlotte.
Well, we only have 4 women.
Yeah,
pretty much. We were talking about that on Monday too. Like Tamina's technically on Raw and Summer Rae's on Raw too. So you have 6 competitors.
Why don't you throw Mickey over there on Raw instead of SmackDown? I mean, SmackDown's a better division, but Raw needs to help more.
No, keep her away from Raw.
I mean, do I not have a point? They need the help
again. Fix Raw on your own instead of throwing more bodies in the pile.
Okay.
And just to plug up the hole. Main event time.
Main event.
The Miz lost the title to Dean Ambrose.
I did not see that coming.
Neither did I. That's a match of the week candidate. It's not necessarily my pick, but that was a fucking good match.
Well, then what is your pick? Because I think we've been through everything for the week, and that's a candidate for me also.
Probably Tejano and Cage, number 5.
Okay. That's probably my pick too. Yeah, that's my pick. Trav, do you have any opinion? Okay.
Hasn't even seen
I don't think any of them will be match of the year.
Like, I don't, for the stuff I've seen so far, I don't think I got a match of the week.
Okay. All right. Well, then that's fair. That's whatever the week is. Tejano versus Cage.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ambrose and Miz.
I didn't care too much for the match itself. It was everything else around the match that was keeping my interest.
Maurice.
But even before the match, the slap to Renee in the backstage, the whole storyline of that,
it's working,
and it culminated with this match. Throw this out here. What did y'all think about the whole something that Miz brought up on Talking Smack, where Maurice slapped Dean? The ref was going to DQ him, and he said, "No, just eject her. Just keep the match going. And he kept the match going. Now, in the Miz's point of view, do you think they should have kept the match going, or is that the ref's call, or is that?
I'm looking at that through Ambrose's point of view. If that's what it takes for him to make sure he's gonna win, I'm all for it. Like, I like the idea. It's like, oh man, is the Miz gonna win like that again? Like, we've seen this already.
Yeah.
So the fact that Ambrose like put a stop to and took it in his own hands, like, bro, don't worry about it. It's just a face. It'll heal. I want to win this match.
What I really liked is that he not only did he say don't do it, because if I was a referee, he was just saying don't do it, I'll be like, rule book, bro, and then actually call the match. But when he presented the alternative, which is just eject her, that would have been like, that is a good call. Okay, we're gonna eject her. That made sense. It was all well and good. So I'm not upset at that either.
The only backlash is we're going to be expecting that now. That's
going to be the Dean spot or something like that.
That's the Ambrose rule.
The Ambrose rule,
just like the Brady rule. Now we have an Ambrose rule. It's like if you get outside interference, the victimee gets to call whether the match is over or if we keep going.
You either accept the penalty or reject the penalty.
Again, that's the point Miz was making.
Yeah.
How does he have the right to do that?
Ambrose going to pull out a red flag out of his pocket.
No, shut up. Dean isn't official. He's not manager. True. He's a wrestler. And if the ref has a rule book to go by, bro.
Yep.
How does Dean get to make that call?
Then that's the thing, because
suspension of disbelief.
This is pro wrestling, so yeah, suspension of disbelief. But also, like I said, he provided the alternative, which that kind of makes sense. Sometimes other than the fact that Dean was the one who said, hey, instead do this. If the ref didn't do that at Dean's behest, but did it on himself where he just rejected Maurice, that still would have made sense. But it was, the fact that it was a slap. I mean, people have rejected managers and valets for other reasons, probably not something as much as a slap, but then again, it's just a slap from Maurice. Come on. But I'm not saying that we need to be a stickler for the rule book either way here. I just like the way that it made sense. It made sense in the storyline. The referee is a fucking human. For once, the referee is a fucking human and is able to be persuaded or not persuaded or whatever. So
it furthers the Miz storyline.
Yeah, it furthers Miz storyline and added humanity to something that's normally just a fucking NPC, So I'm okay with it.
That goes back to I kind of mentioned earlier about refs now, like they have a brain.
Yeah.
Where I was thinking about that with the Eddie Guerrero spot on Raw. Before it got shut down and it was happening, I was like, how's that going to work in this day and age? Because literally on I can't believe it's literally. Okay, on the week before that one on Raw, they had a thing where Charlotte got pinned by Bayley, but her shoulders wasn't down.
Yeah.
And Charlotte got a lawyer. She lawyered up, whatever the case would be, whatever the storyline was. But they went back, basically reviewed the film, the footage, and they reversed that decision.
Threw out the red flag.
And, okay, how can you have that call 1 week and then the following week, if that Eddie Guerrero thing went through and he actually lost like that,
why would that not have been overturned?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Charlotte's the heel and she wants it done the hard way when Roman could just be like, I could beat him. Just give me the rematch and I'll go away.
It's funny. You make a joke about that, and that's the one reason I don't like Roman Reigns. He's so cocky. He's a face, but he's cocky and arrogant like a heel. Whatever. That's a story for another day. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Speaking of another story, I don't even know why I said that. So the Miz loses the belt. We thought that was it. Until I get a text message on Messenger, and Travis is like, bro, you need to watch Talking Smack.
No, I said LOL. Mrs. blew up on Talking Smack.
Old school. Are there parts of him on the screen?
I said like blow up like old school heel.
Like Ultimate Warrior?
Promo. Okay. Oh. Yeah, very funny. Okay.
Shut up, Chris.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically it was like I equated the promo to an old school Ric Flair heel promo. Like Ric Flair, when he gets mad, just like head twirling around, hair flying everywhere. That's what Miz was doing. Right. So
you have more hair, you can do it. Okay.
What did y'all think of the fucking promo? Talk, motherfucker.
Well, y'all told me to shut up, so I'm just sitting here and flicking my hair around.
Oh, now you do it. Okay.
It was shorter than I thought it was going to be because, again, whenever somebody says, hey, you need to watch this, so I thought it was something similar to the things we have seen Miz do. Since it was different than what I thought it was going to be, I still enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I laughed, and when he lost his shit and acted like, and I totally saw what you're getting at, acted like insane Ric Flair, you know, I expected him to take off his shirt and then elbow drop it.
Yeah.
You know, he's just throwing a tantrum and I can't believe like.
I like the
right.
I like the unnecessary beat they did, like during the middle of his rant. I think in hindsight, we're kind of analyzing it earlier. The first part of that, before he snapped, he was whining. That's what I was like. Okay, all right, here we go. But then he blew up. He got really pissed off.
Yeah, and started talking with his teeth tucked together. You can tell when he's talking with his mouth open, and then when he's gritting his teeth like this, and he's in his fucking company. Yeah, it's like, all right, now you hate the company. All right, I guess we'll see you in Wrestle Kingdom next year.
Say hi to Cody for me.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the name Cody on its own is not going to get over. It's like I expect the last name.
Yeah.
Unless you're Ryback or some kind of cool name. It's like, what's a Cody? Like, there's like 3 Codys on the roster already.
He thinks Ryback's a cool name.
Compared to Cody. And his opponent, Abel. Abel what? Where's it?
Abel Jabroni.
That's it for a show.
That ended the show. That ended the show.
Yeah.
Really?
We can't follow all that.
Oh well, you can't follow all this.
Don't want to follow.
Adios, my friends. Keep it classy.
It's hyperculture.
That was an abrupt end right there.
Hey, by the way, new episode of Pop Culture Rewind.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Star Wars.
Dropped today our review of Rogue One.
Who reviewed it? You and this guy?
This guy.
Oh.
Well, we're the only ones left.
Oh, you know, I saw
We had some defectors go into the competition. The competition turned into controversy. The controversy created downloads.
Yeah.
That's why we're back in business.
Yeah.
Downloads for who?
Yeah.
I mean,
we need the hits.
Shit.
Pop Culture Rewind on YouTube. Go check it out.
I watched the movie before you guys did, y'all motherfuckers. Whatever. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah. How'd you like the movie?
Now you gotta go watch Pop
Oh,
Culture.
you gotta go listen to the episode.
Why would I tell you
Oh, okay.
It stinks.
So that's for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's it. Facebook Pop Culture Rewind.
Yep. That's
Twitter at Pop Culture RWND.
You got it.
H Wrestling Radio at H Wrestling Radio on Twitter for us, and then Facebook.com/Houston Wrestling Radio. Check it out. Hit subscribe as well while you're at it. Get marks.
Now we're done.
Now we're done.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Everybody do your wrestling pose like Abel did.
Yeah.